I've got some news just into us, which I think is quite interesting. It's definitely something we'll ask you about, Justin, here. Jesse Lingard, the Manchester United winger, forward, whatever you want to say, he's now going to be represented by a new agent. It is the super agent Mino Raiola. Now, to us, that might not mean very much. We don't know really what to make of that. However, Justin, a professional footballer who's had an agent, probably a few in your career, can we read anything into this? The fact that Jesse Lingard's been at Manchester United his whole career, he's got a club, but he's changed agents. What does that mean?
It can mean a number of things. Maybe he wants a change in direction. Maybe he wants, someone else behind him, or maybe he might be looking to move on. At the moment, we don't know, but I'm sure over time that'll become more clearer. Maybe he feels like he wants to move on and have a new challenge, and maybe having this new agent, might bring that. Or it could be another opportunity, within United, or staying there for even longer.
Did you have one agent throughout your whole career, or did you change? And if you did change, what were the reasons?
So I had an agent for a long time, from the time I started right up until I was at Middlesbrough. Everything was going perfectly well, until it was like the time for me to move on. And, it was like a lot of false promises. I'm going to promise you to move, you're going to move here, you're going to move there. So I was like, all right, perfect, I'm going to move. Then the next thing, you're not moving. So you're like, well, why have I not moved? Like, you said I'm going to move, I'm going to go to this club, I'm going to go to that club, but nothing's happened. And then I spoke to another agent, and he actually called the club and said, has this agent been in touch with you to say, like, you're interested, because he's told me, right, you're going to go there. He kept on telling me, you're going to go there, you're going to go there. And then the next minute, an agent phones the club and says, has this agent been in touch? And then the club was like, no, sorry, we've had no contact from this manager or whatever not. Wow. So then that's when you're sitting there thinking, so the whole time you're lying to me saying I'm going to go somewhere where I'm not. So then you're thinking, well, why am I with this agent that's promised me so much? And you're thinking, right, I'm going to go somewhere. So you're getting excited, probably the January transfer when you're getting excited, I'm going to move. And then all of a sudden you find that you're not going nowhere. Then you're like, well, so what do I do next, kind of thing? And then I'm signed with this other agent who actually done everything for me. Thought, right, okay, I'll sign with this agent. It didn't work out with that agent either. So I'm like, well, so what do I do now? Signed with another agency, that didn't work out. So I thought, now I just do everything myself.
Oh, right, OK. So is that quite... One, is the story you've just told quite common? Yeah. And two, as you get older, is it also common that you just do it yourself?
I think a lot of times it is. I feel a lot of times now people feel like they need agents. Sometimes you don't need an agent because your own player profile and who you are and what you do on the field will speak for itself. A lot of people have told me over time, whatever you do on the field, that will sell yourself. If you perform every day, week in, week out, train hard, do whatever you need to do on the field, there'll be clubs calling you. I mean, sometimes you might need an agent to make the phone calls to different clubs, or for players, if a club needs to get in touch with a player, you might need an agent. But sometimes if they need to get in touch with you, there's social media now that, clubs can get in touch with players. It's like easy.
If you're an agent, why have you not got yourself a new team?
I'm working on that at the moment, I'm just in the early stages of working there. That's how I got to Cincinnati being an agency myself.
Not for one second, by the way, are we saying that Jesse Lingard's old agent is happening there? This is Justin's story rather than Jesse Lingard's. But yes, he has signed up with super agent Mino Raiola. I think you want to say something, JD.
Yeah,
you want to jump in quickly?
Jay, what's your opinion on family members representing you then, in terms of because that's happening a lot more with modern footballers.
That's becoming a bit more common nowadays, yeah.
Then rather than signing up to a massive agency, do you feel like it's a hindrance, or do you feel like it's more of a benefit in terms, especially in markets like this?
Yeah, I think it's a benefit now. It's keeping everything in-house, really. And I think normally your family is looking for your best interest, rather than, an agent who's, might be trying to think like, right, let's move you on, just for his sake, or for to keep his name, or something else in the limelight, kind of thing. Whereas your family is looking at your best interest, like, well, if you're not happy here, let's try and move you on to somewhere where you might be a bit more happy, and you might be expressing yourself in in a different market, or a different environment, a different place.
Paul Pogba's been injured for most of the season, Justin, but he still makes all the headlines. How does that make the rest of the players feel when everyone's talking about him, even though he's not on the pitch?
Anyway, it's quite hard, because you're thinking, well, you're working hard every day and you're doing everything on the field, and no one's really talking about you. But at the end of the day, it's like your main focus is training hard and working hard. You're not focusing on what Pogba's doing. You're not worried about if he's in training or what he's doing. You're focusing on what you got to do, because at the end of the day, you got to perform on the Saturday. If he's fit or if he's not fit, that's his concern and the staff's concern. Whereas as a player, you're worried about, right, if I'm starting this weekend, I need to focus on myself. I can't worry about what someone else is doing who's not actually in the team, because that's not going to affect me on a Saturday, you know. I have to focus on what I've got to do on the Saturday rather than thinking about, you know, the off-field antics or whatever's going on.
You can tell it's frustrating the manager though.
Yeah.
Can't you?
Yeah,
You can tell.
You can tell it's annoying because every press conference he's having, that's all everyone's asking him is about Pogba. They're not asking him about the team or anything. That's the first thing they're asking him.
Do you think a manager would understand, though, as journalists, we do have to ask, don't we?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It depends on what the narrative is. I mean, I'm not going to defend Pogba to an extent, because this whole narrative has been created to an extent by yourself, by talking and expressing in media outlets and saying that I might think about a new challenge. So naturally, being such a high-profile name, you're going to create attention around yourself every single window because of that one statement, and because of not coming out with the platforms that they have to defend that statement or rectify that statement. But at the same time, it does depend on the narratives that's out there, because some narratives that are created about Paul Pogba is away from footballing issues, and that is wrong at the same time. So he feels like he still wants to defend his player all the time, even though his player probably doesn't feel like he wants to defend himself. So